Welcome to the OASIS Electronic Medical Record Training. This online training will allow you to understand and use the OASIS Electronic Medical Record. Time-related information such as minutes, hours, weeks, months, and years displayed in the right columns represents the time that has elapsed since new clinical data has been available. For example, the highlighted patient has a new lab result available since 2 hours, a report from the medical imaging available since 5 days, and so on. It is important to note that the modification of clinical data will also reset the clock. Therefore, if a query from the medical imaging service passes from the status of preliminary reports to the status of confirmed reports, that information is transmitted to the OASIS Electronic Medical Record. The clock for the medical imaging query displaying 5 days now indicates 1 minute since the status of the query has been modified. Note that new information is sent to your screen whenever you change pages or whenever you refresh the page using the button in the toolbar. It is, however, important to note that for the medical imaging department, the clock is initialized from the time the OASIS Electronic Medical Record receives a preliminary report. By double-clicking on a counter in a column in the right section, the list of clinical data appears. In this case, by double-clicking on the 1-hour laboratory column for Mrs. LaRose, we obtain the list of laboratory results. This is a second level of information specific to a patient for one type of service. To exit the result list, you can use arrows on the toolbar or icons related to the current list or default list. You can also use shortcuts to jump directly to lab results for another patient on the list, or change to another type of result for the selected patient. After returning to the patient list, notice that the numbers of the clock are no longer in bold, indicating that you have accessed this information. This refers only to your profile. All other clinicians who have not accessed this new information will always find their counter in bold as long as they have not accessed it. All lists are displayed in a standard format. They are used in the same manner. They consist of a header and a section of content where the information is displayed. It is possible to distinguish the new results you have not yet consulted. They appear in bold in contrast to other results that are viewed in normal font. The bold disappears from the list after you exit the screen or after you've updated the button in the toolbar. As for the clock, it will reset when new results are received in the OASIS Clinical Information System. Also note that any critical results would always be displayed in red and bold. After leaving the screen or updating, these results remain red but appear in italics to indicate that you saw the result. Once you have learned how to handle a list of results, you can use any other list from the OASIS Clinical Information System the same way. To know the contents of the column, go over them slowly with your cursor. For the details of an analysis, double-click on the highlighted line. Note that a double-click on any of the information in the column that bears an F generates an application filter, causing this only to display historical data identical to the selected data. This feature will be explained later. The buttons Previous and Next can display the details of the previous or next analysis. To return to the list, simply click on the previous page on the toolbar. When the number of lines of results goes beyond the number of lines it can display, navigation buttons let you move forward and backwards throughout the data. The Top button returns you to the top of the list. The Next button allows you to consult other lines. The Back button takes you back to the previous rows. Note that these buttons are displayed if all the rows in the lists are visible in one screen. It is also possible to display more or less data by using the scroll menu. The function Trends displays laboratory results in tables or graphs. Trends enables you to present in time a series of tests and results. It allows you to perform a comparative analysis of results either graphically or digitally. You can use the profile results from the OASIS Clinical Information System, or you can configure your own profiles. For example, suppose you want to view trends for a patient in preparation for surgery. OASIS Clinical Information System already has a profile available fulfilling this need. In selecting with the right button of your cursor or from the Trends menu, you automatically get the trends based on the analysis related to your query. Initially, OASIS Clinical Information System presents the results in a table format. To generate a graph, just click on Graph View at the bottom of the screen. This is most useful when the data is spread over long periods. For more information about viewing data, you can consult the online user guide from the OASIS Clinical Information System by clicking on the question mark in the toolbar or by visiting the Help menu. To view data details, double-click on a result in the table or on a point in the graph. You can edit the data available in the trend profiles by adding or removing elements using the buttons Add Service and Remove Service. For example, let's see how to add an item. The search can apply to all services or only those available to a particular patient. First, select the search parameters and the desired element. Validate by clicking on Add at the bottom of the window. To remove an analysis from the display, simply select it and click on the button Remove Service. To keep the new display, the profile must be saved. To save the new profile, click the Save button. Enter a name in the dialog box. By default, the OASIS Clinical Information System saves user profiles. Therefore, they can serve as a model for the many patients. By checking the box For Patient, the profile will be available only for the selected patient. To select a different profile, simply click on the button Select New Graph, which takes you back to the selection window, and choose the desired profile in the appropriate tab. OASIS Clinical Information System provides a huge range of information within the lists of laboratory results, medical imaging, medication profiles, visits, etc. You can limit the display of information presented on screen to suit your needs by using different filters. When you filter the content of a list, the menu list shows the service name Filtered, meaning the view is filtered. Certain results offer the possibility of filtering directly a specific clinical data. This option is available only when the column title is followed by an F for filter in parentheses. To apply this filter, just double-click on the desired data in the column containing the F. This allows you to access a filtered list. You can filter the contents of a list to target the desired information. For example, the result list is large and you want only to see one or more tests. The search type Filter Services will be used. To filter the data, follow these instructions. In the main menu, select Result, followed by Search for Results. Select the tab Filter Services. Select the desired results. To select multiple services, you must hold down the Control of the keyboard. Click on the arrow above to add the selected results in the list Filter Services. Click on the OK button. The result list is updated, taking your selections into account.